Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another How About Them Celtics video. Sam and I are here recording Thursday, April 24th, and we have another new Jayson Tatum update. The wrist is still bothering him. Obviously, was doubtful, downgraded to out for game 2 of the series. And then Joe went on the radio, I believe it was Zolak and Bertrand, correct, on 98.5,
Yep.
and said that the bone bruise is, quote, severe. Called it a severe bone bruise, which is definitely not the word a lot of Celtics fans probably wanted to hear. On top of that, the new image of the injury was shared to probably unintentionally to the Celtics Twitter account, or excuse me, Instagram account. Twitter user pointed it out. It's right here. If you look at the wrist, his left or right wrist, it's his right
Gotta
wrist
be his
that's
right
injured,
wrist.
correct? So if we take a closer look, I can open it up in a new tab so we can zoom in and fully investigate. But you can see, I believe the injury would be right there. So he's carrying the duffel, and I don't know how bruised or how whatever it is, but no cast. So we've got an image of the actual injury. It does look like there's probably a little bruising right on the bone, but we have an image. We have an update. We know it's severe, but he's carrying 2 duffel bags with the wrist. So I suppose that's some extra context too.
Something to monitor, you know. I think the fact that he's not wearing the little brace cast guard, whatever you want to call what he had on at game 2, is an encouraging sign. I think, as Jack mentioned, him carrying the double duffels in his right hand is also pretty good. So going forward, I don't really know what we should all make of this, because the Missoula piece of it, where he's like, this is a severe bone bruise. And then if you go on Google, I think it says it takes weeks to recover from. So maybe you don't think he's going to be back soon. Maybe you think he's going to be back for game 3. I don't really know where I land on this. And, we can talk about our guesstimate of when we think he'll actually come back. But I think you should feel better today than you did 24 hours ago, or as you're listening to this, 48
Really?
hours ago, because, well, you saw them beat the brakes off Orlando. Like, think about game 2.
Oh, about the series. I think I meant about Tatum. Like, I don't think I could disagree anymore.
No, the Tatum piece of it is more of, how do you feel about the team without Tatum? And I feel a lot better than I did when the injury first happened. Jalen played the best game he probably could have played. The team itself played decent, but not great, yet still controlled the game against Orlando. I think there was a case of Orlando can't score that goes into all of this too. Like, I don't think that could be completely discounted. But on the surface level Jack over there, it is encouraging to see them control the game like they did in game 2. It never really felt like it was at risk. They always punched back when Orlando made a push, and that shows a lot of character of the supporting cast.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of feeling good or worse, better or worse, whatever, about the Celtics, I think feeling better is true. But as far as like Tatum's actual injury, I think worse. Like you see this happen, he comes back in the game, you're saying, oh, it's probably not that bad. And then it goes to Joe being a little bit less descriptive than he might usually be, or a little bit less positive than he might usually be during press conference talking about it, to now going on the radio saying, yeah, it's a severe bone bruise. Like, that doesn't sound very good. That sounds like he's dealing with an actual like thing that could keep him out for a while. I mean, this is all speculatory. I don't know, obviously. Probably doesn't play in game 3. Probably doesn't play in game 4. And I also do think there's an element to this where it's like, do you really need him to? Like, if you can keep winning and you show that you're good enough to win, you're all that stuff, like, let him rest. Let him get the rest. If it's a severe bone bruise, obviously you look at the picture, there's a little bit of bruising, and you can see it there. But like, it feels like he's going to be out for longer than a lot of people expected when the injury first initially happened.
I agree. It's unfortunate. I think there was always a little bit of a fear of it, but him staying in game 1 kind of pumped the brakes on anybody overreacting to what happened. Now you've got this additional information. I think you're right. I think if you're the Celtics, you almost feel like gambling here. Not really, but a little bit, where you're like, well, what if we actually don't have to rush him back and just let him recover? And then Jalen and the boys can take care of business against Orlando. I think that's what this boils down to more than anything. It's the Tatum pain tolerance, which was always going to be the case with this kind of injury. and also how much the feel within the team, Tatum included, that he's essential to them winning this series. And the way we've seen this Orlando team play, the answer should be he is not essential. They should be able to take care of business against these guys regardless. Jack, you were so right coming into the series. They do not score well. They struggle to put the ball in the basket like you wouldn't believe. The Celtics had offensive lapses in game 2. Orlando did absolutely nothing about it. And again, the Celtics managed to control the game because anytime Orlando finally got it together, they managed to snap the cold spell. They started scoring again. They got out in transition. They did whatever it took to ignite themselves a little bit. And I think they just have enough firepower where they shouldn't necessarily need Tatum. Does that mean they're going to sweep them? It doesn't mean that. I think it's very likely that they could lose one of these 2 games. Orlando was a great home team last season in the playoffs. They won all 3 games against the Cavs down at Kia Center. But with that being said, your Boston Celtics have been a historically great road team this year. So it's almost like just the meeting of powers. Who's going to snap first? Which side's going to have to give? We're going to have to wait and see.
Well, I think even more important than the great home team versus great road team is one team is good and one team is bad. And that kind of
That's
trumps,
neither here nor there. Come on.
I think
now.
that kind of trumps anything else. The Magic aren't very good. I don't think they can score. I think the Celtics proved when they had a bad offensive night themselves that they can still beat the Magic. So I think that's fine. I don't know. The Tatum thing is definitely a bigger storyline now than when it first happened because he did come back in the game like we talked about. I guess we'll just have to see. We'll have to wait and see what happens regarding the injury, what happens regarding his return, what happens regarding his status. We'll get an injury report update tonight as we're recording this. So last night you'll have gotten one. I don't know if he'll be out for that. Doubtful for that. Obviously, we'll get another one pregame tonight as you're listening to this. I am personally doubtful he plays. I don't think he'll play. I don't even know if he'll play the rest of the series. We were talking about this as we got to Orlando. Like it just, I don't know. It feels like just keep him healthy, and I think that should be the top priority. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if he ends up coming back. But let us know what you think. Let us know what you think of the whole injury, the picture, the severe update, which I think is a big part of this. That Joe doesn't usually talk about injuries like that, so to hear him say it probably means it's not great. But then again, maybe he's playing mind games. Who knows anymore? Let us know what you think. Appreciate you for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like and all that. Sam, take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, tell us what you think of the injury, subscribe, and hit the bell because Jack and I are here every single day. New content is coming out at 5 a.m. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps will be up the morning after each game. And other videos like this one are on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the 2 of us streaming live for pregame every single tip-off for a half hour. We'll do some talking with the chat, some prize picks, some GeoGuessr. It's a lot of fun. You don't want to miss any of it. Make sure you subscribe. Also, follow us on Spotify and Apple if you just want the audio versions of what we're doing. Go ahead, follow. They'll go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We're reading them every single time we do a pod. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jackson1NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us.
Check,